Today's guest is someone really lovely. Janine Simons has a lovely mannerism about her, and she believes that everybody who has colour as a service needs to consider it as colour to be a business as well. So today I'll talk to Janine. She's been 30 years in our industry. She was a global educator for colour across the world, a salon owner herself. And she just has a really lovely story to tell, and I think you're going to sit back and enjoy it. A bit of cuteness for you. Sorry to interrupt. I just wanted to let you know that I've got an event happening next week, and it's called the 25-hour Salon Owner, and we're going to cover off on a few things that we talked about here today and a heap more, and I'd really love you to join me. There'll be a link in the show notes, or if you're watching on YouTube, there'll be a QR code. Check it out. I think it's right up your alley, and if you're a salon owner, hey, this one's not coming. If you're a salon owner with a team of 3 or more, I would love to see you on the day. So enough from us, back to the event. So welcome, Janine. So nice to be here.
Yeah, it's great. Thanks for having me. Looking forward to our chat today.
Yeah, well, it could be an optometrist thing because we both got the big glasses on, haven't we?
Yeah, I love it. I love it.
Yeah, I need them to see. There was a time when I wished I wore glasses, and now there's a time I wished I didn't have to wear glasses, but I have arrived, as they say.
Oh, I hear you. I wish I had known, I took it for granted that eyesight without glasses, right? Now when I try and read a book and you have to put your glasses on, it's a pain. Anyway, here we are.
Here we are, a couple of old broads, hey? Speak for myself.
Yeah.
So the reason I wanted to do this interview is the short story is one of my clients, an American client, came across this girl who can help you with your tint wastage in the salon. And so she ran you past me is to see whether it would be a good idea. So that's what happened. And we'll get to that in the end. But I think what I like to do is have conversations with people about how the hell did you get there? Because, teaching salons across the world, because she's an American client, I live in Bali, you live in New Zealand. And so it's exciting, that we can work with so many people in so many ways. And because I have grey hair, you don't. Well, actually, I think you might have underneath that.
Yes, camouflage, yeah.
Just camouflage, yeah. So you don't. It's like celebrating the wisdom of where we got to where we are. And the reason I wanted to do Salon Conversations is I want people to realise that you're just where you are today, but there'll be another chapter, more will be revealed. And so what I wanted to do was go back to the new Janine, the young girl who decided she wanted to be a hairdresser. And then, we got to make sure we don't run out of time because you and I are good yakkers. But we've got to get the story, how does it unfold? Do you want a hairdresser and then you go to salon ownership and now you help people with product wastage? So a little bit of an outline about how does that go. So let's go. Janine grew up in New Zealand and you go, I think I'll be a hairdresser. Is that how it happened?
Yes, pretty much. Well, yes. So I grew up in New Zealand. I actually grew up in rural New Zealand, so country girl at heart.
Yeah.
And my family moved to the city when I was 14. So we moved to the capital city when I was 14. That my parents were from there originally. And I don't really love school. I liked meeting my friends and a few key core topics, but I wasn't really an academic or didn't love school. So I wanted to leave, and I was only allowed to leave if I had a job. And so I set out and I actually started working after school in a salon, like as a tea and tidy or shampoo basin assistant back then. And it was a very little suburban salon.
Yep.
And so I just said to my parents, I'm going to be a hairdresser. That's what I'm going to do. Now, neither of my parents were that happy with that decision. They didn't think that it was a very good, more so my dad, he really didn't think that it was a good career pathway. I think his generation, it was kind of the school dropout.
And
that's
so,
what happened.
And so 2 things I want to ask. Why did you think hairdressing? That's the first question. And why do you think, and that's what you started on, why do you think it had such a bad, oh dear, school dropout thinking?
Well, I think that was just, that was how the industry was seen for a lot of that generation. I'm talking sort of like boomers and beyond.
Yeah. What year was this? What year did you?
That would have been 1991.
91. Oh,
yeah.
wow.
Yeah. yeah, 91, 92. Yeah, about then. Yeah. So we're not talking, that's a wee while ago. Like I've been in the industry a good 30 plus years now. So, but
Well,
yes.
I can tell
And
you actually it's 36 years because that's the year I had or 35. That's the year I had my twins. And
oh,
so,
there you go.
yeah, so
Yeah.
I'm
So
thinking,
you're
that's
busy
not
in mummy land and I'm
that.
embarking on
Yeah,
an apprenticeship.
yeah, that's good. But why
Yeah.
did you want to be a hairdresser? Why didn't you want to be a chef or a receptionist, or why didn't you? There
I
could have
don't know.
been a lot
Well, I
of
think
things.
yeah, that's right. I think that too. But actually, I think I probably fell into it because I had that after school job,
Yeah,
and so I sort of thought, "Was this fun?" And this is a
I
good
could do this.
job, and yeah, I could do this. And but if I kind of think back to when I was younger, I did always like sort of messing with my hair and other people's hair, so it was probably in there. I just hadn't recognized
Yeah.
that.
And how did you get
Um,
the job? Like, was it
yeah, so my
advertised?
apprenticeships, my no,
No,
the
the tea
after
and
school job,
tidy.
no.
No,
The
tea
tea
and
and
tidy.
tidy job, I just went around all the salons and asked someone to please employ me, as you did back in the day. And so I literally did that. I just knocked on doors, and Bernie Patinsky, who was a well-known marathon runner, she was the owner of the salon, and
Yeah,
she employed me and took her under her wing, sorry. And
yeah,
it was a good start. And
yeah,
so I then thought, yes, I want to do this, but I knew that I also didn't want to work in a suburban salon. I wanted to be in the city.
yeah.
So then I sought out an apprenticeship in the city, and I was lucky enough to land an apprenticeship in a brand new salon that was very London at the time,
Oh, yeah,
which was quite a thing. Yeah,
yeah,
it had quite an international feel and was very professional, and I'm very grateful for
yeah,
that opportunity to
yeah,
work at that level right from the start.
yeah.
So that set me up really.
So
Yeah.
circling back to the things, I sound like we're very similar. The things that you were good at school, was it art? Was it maths? Was it science? What did you like about school? I like the friends and that too, but there was some particular classes that I just loved, and there was others that I didn't.
Yeah.
So you
Yeah, I would
probably
say it was
now,
art.
though it wasn't art.
No, most people think that it's art with
Yeah.
hairdressers, right? I think actually more it was I loved economics and I loved science. So
Wow.
those were my favorite, weirdly, right?
Lucky
Hated
you.
math.
Lucky
Yeah,
you.
didn't really
And
like
math.
math. Didn't see the
You didn't
point of
like math.
math. No.
Yeah.
And English I really enjoyed too. Like I really enjoyed writing essays and so I guess that was the creative side, the
Yeah.
English and doing speeches and that sort of thing. So I did enjoy so it would have been English, economics and science would have been and science was biology, not
Wow.
chemistry, but
Isn't that good? And so
yeah.
that's probably why you ended up where you are today, measuring and
Mm.
counting things, because that's economics, isn't
Yeah,
it?
that's right. The
Yeah.
bean counter has come out.
Yeah, that's right. So
Yeah.
that's really unusual for me, and for a lot of people. It's arts. Like I was good at pottery
Mm.
and cooking and sewing and all of the things that were using my hands. So economics, that's interesting and science. Well, science could get you to the color side, to understanding.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
that's really
Absolutely.
interesting, isn't it? Which is a lovely
It
point,
is.
actually, because it's not, it's true. Like, I think people would say, oh, my daughter's going to be a hairdresser. And people go, oh, is she? Oh, that's a shame.
Yes.
She'll be poor all her
Mm.
life. She'll have to do relatives' hair for free.
Yeah.
Yeah, not so much in America. Not so much. Very different in America. That's why I like working with Americans. But
Mm.
here, I found in Australia, it was a bit like, yeah, it wasn't a bragging point, whereas my daughter's going to university, it was kind of a bragging point, maybe.
Absolutely. Yeah. I still think there's a little bit of stigma attached to that now in New
Yep.
Zealand and Australia. Like, I don't know, a lot of parents are still push their kids towards university as opposed to the trades.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it still has that slight stigma attached to
Mm.
it, especially hairdressing and beauty, do you know?
Yeah. There's a
Um,
swing back though. I feel like,
oh,
a part of, I think part of the keeping your kids at school is a numbers game for the government. Like if your kid's at school till it's 18, we've got a lot less unemployed that we can say, oh, I got the unemployment down. Than when we left school, like the only kids that stayed on were kids that actually had a university in their sighting. I didn't.
mm.
I wanted
Yeah,
money.
no,
I
no,
want to
me
buy my
neither.
own
Yeah.
clothes. I want to run my
Yes.
own show.
Yeah. Independence. Yeah, I was the
Yeah.
same. Yeah.
Yeah. And I had
Yes.
one
Yeah.
experience that turned me to be a hairdresser. I had no thought of it before, never played with anyone's hair, never did anything like that. And a girl just treated me beautifully. She said, what would you like your hair? If you could have anything, what could you do? And I think, mate, no one's ever asked me that. Like usually they say, how much are we chopping off? Like, and I was a country
Yes.
girl
Yeah. What do you
too.
think to that?
And just the
Yeah.
way that girl made me feel, I just thought, wow, imagine doing that for a living, making people understand that they have untapped beauty that they could actually feel in a different way if someone just paid them attention. So it was really an emotional thing for me, which is interesting because I've ended up in a space where my mentoring program's really about why you can't have what you want and your self-worth and all of that. So we both had hairdressing as a career, and you went down the
Yes.
economics path and I went down the path of you're good enough, you can do this. And so
Yeah.
it's the same industry, just different journeys. So yeah, that's a lovely unpacking.
It is interesting, isn't it? Isn't it? And I do think I often say to a lot of my friends, because my children are now sort of 20 and 23 and out, doing their thing in the world. I really believe that people find their pathway. Do you know? Like, it doesn't matter where you start, that somewhere along the journey, you'll find your pathway. The income will come, the happiness will come, just like find something you love doing. And I still love our industry. I still love doing the odd head of hair and making people feel good, like you talk about, So
Yeah, it
yeah,
is. It's
the
it's
opportunities
similar.
are vast.
One of the things I
Mm.
do now is take women on a facelift journey here in Bali. I take them. I know. So it's
Oh,
it's
sign
just
me up.
it's just really a big haircut. Like, let's be honest.
That's
But it's the
yes,
same
true.
thing.
Yeah.
It's about
Mm.
helping a person get what they want. Same thing, right?
Yes.
We
And building that
yeah,
confidence, like,
yeah.
yes, yeah.
The surgery is easy. It's taking them through the, should I be doing this? Am I a sport brat? Am I ungrateful? There's a lot of people who've got cancer and here I am chopping a bit out of my face. It's all that. So that's,
Yeah, so many things go through your brain, don't they? Yeah.
and my parents were happy I wanted to be a hairdresser. Maybe the bar was lower for me, but mine was 84, so it was a little bit earlier, 1984, whereas yours was 91. But they just thought, oh,
Mm.
that's good because I was working in a retirement home. So they just thought, oh, that'd be good. Hairdressing would be good. It will be good. Be able to get a blow wave and a haircut from Lise. That'll be good. Like it was really simple. So
Yeah.
was your dad worried that you wouldn't get work? Was he worried that you wouldn't make enough money? Was he worried?
Yeah, I think it was more about that, like, more about the money. And they'd sort of come from a generation where university was only obtainable, I guess, if you had the academic results. Whereas by the time I'd got through, pretty much anyone could go, as long as you got, a baseline, but it wasn't as hard. So I think when I reflect back, I was probably a great white hope to be the first one to go to uni as being one of the oldest in the family. But certainly, once I embarked on the journey, they were 100% in, like, 100% in, full support, really wanted me to make the most of my apprenticeship, and then fully encouraged me to move into salon ownership. And because I never thought I'd be a salon owner when I started. So many people said that to me, and I thought, oh no, I don't think I'll do that.
Yeah.
To age of 24, there I was.
Why do you think you didn't want to do that? Why did you think, oh,
I don't know. I just didn't see that in
you seen
my.
it done badly, perhaps, or did you see it done with stress, or did you? I don't know.
Yeah, I've never really kind of dived deep into why. I think I just had so many people say that to me. Oh, once you have kids, you can work from home, or you can be a salon owner. I thought that's it's almost like being told you have to buy the house, get the picket fence, have the dog, have the kids. I don't know. It just felt like quite a narrow
Yeah,
pathway to me at the time. I
bit
thought, oh, no, just
boxy.
because I'm a hairdresser doesn't mean I'm going to do those things.
Yeah. Well, and mine was the other way. I thought, no, I'll have my own salon. I've always been a fiercely independent. I know what I'm doing. I can do it myself. Like, not, it's bit me in the ass most of my life. And it's funny
Yeah.
because my eldest child, Tess, her first sentence was, I do by self, mummy. I do by
Oh,
self.
yes, independence.
Oh,
Yeah.
where did she get that from? And my
Yeah, that's right.
boys,
It is true.
and this came, tying shoelaces or whatever. And my twin boys, you do, mummy, you do. That was their first sentence. You do.
Yeah. How's that
So
played out in your life?
yeah, that's right. So I think
Yeah.
I do by self, mummy, is probably was me coming out in her. Like I stayed 16 years with the first person I got a job with, right? But I always knew that I'd have
That's a
my
long
own
time.
salon. That's a long time.
Yeah, right. Yeah, interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, interesting. Whereas I thought I never would, and I think I was a year or 2 years out of my apprenticeship when I had a salon. So there
Really?
you go. Yeah,
So
funny, isn't it?
that's just proof that you only think you know what you got to do. You got no idea.
That's
So that
right. You
that's a
actually have
learning.
no idea.
Yeah, just
Yes.
let
Yeah.
it go. You know, what does it say in that Frozen kid song? Let it go,
Oh,
let it
yeah.
go.
Let it go. Yeah. I think, it's really about, I guess the opportunities came up and I just took them. It wasn't really that I thought this is what I'm going to do or I want to go down this
Yeah,
direction. It was more, this is what's in front of me right now. Do you want to
yeah,
give it a go? And
yeah,
so that's how I ended up being a salon
yeah.
owner. Yeah.
Opportunity presents. So tell me about that? Did someone have a business for sale and because a lot of them are like they're handed over. They're not necessarily
Yes.
sold to a stranger. I don't know what the percentage is, but I know I have people come to me, they want to buy a salon, and I have people who come to me who want to sell a salon. And so I say to them, just before you go advertising it to the big world, you need to
Mhm.
find out in your business, does somebody want it? Because
Mm.
a lot of them say, well, my boss was leaving or my boss had a cancer. And so she was, and I'm thinking,
Mm.
I could do that. So it is often an opportunity presents. So how did your
Yes.
opportunity present, Janine?
Yeah, pretty much just like that. So I'd finished my apprenticeship and then I went overseas for 2 years. So I did the big OE as we did back then.
Yeah.
And I actually went hairdressing on cruise ships for about a year, which
Oh,
was
wow.
such a fun job. Oh, it was amazing. It was a blast and I learned a lot. And then I came back and the place where I'd done my apprenticeship, I worked there for a few weeks. I was going to go back overseas. In that short period of time, um, the owner was heading to Australia and needed to sell the salon. So one of the team members that I'd worked with, he and I went Harveys in the salon, and I ended up
Was it?
staying and becoming a salon owner. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah. So
yeah.
opportunity.
And like it wasn't a massive investment back then, but it felt like it at the time. Whoosh.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
here I had been living this, free and fancy life abroad, and suddenly I was back at home with debt and,
Yeah.
working 60 hours plus in a salon to keep it.
I know. And so
Yeah.
what did you pay for it? Can I ask?
Oh, well, I think back in the day, maybe 60,000 all up, which was 30,000 ish each. It was something
Yeah.
along those lines.
Yeah.
But I had to borrow that money. I had no
Yeah.
money. I'd come back from traveling, and you know what it's like when you come back, maybe $50 to my name.
Yeah, you
So
usually
yeah,
start to leave when you can see the money's about to end. You think,
yes,
I think
yeah,
I better get
that's
home.
right. Gotta get home. Yeah. And so, but it was a great business and
Yeah.
we worked really hard and had it paid off so fast. Like,
And what was the
yeah, and that's when
so
I
what would a wage been back then? So just to have context. So if it was 60K, I wonder what was the profit margin in for a year in that business, like don't know.
yeah, well, yeah, if I actually
You'd have
can't
to think
remember
about it.
exactly, and
Yeah.
I have to think about it, but I know I was taking home about $1,000 a week.
Yeah.
So, which that was quite good money for back
Yes.
then. You
Yeah.
know,
So that's
yeah,
so if you're taking home $1,000 a week, so and there's another partner, so that's
mm,
52 for you and another
yeah, and
52 for
52,
him. So
yeah,
it's yielding 100K and you only paid
yeah.
60 for it. So you got a bargain.
Yeah, yeah, but we were working as stylists on the floor too, and
Yeah.
that's, you know what I mean? So
That's good.
it's commission based too.
Yeah.
So it was a bit of profit and a bit of, but we were kind of earning our keep, if you like, in
Yeah.
those early days. Yeah.
And was the
Yeah.
person you work with, like, was he similar age and why did you
No,
choose
no.
him? Why did you choose him?
Well, he was actually, I think he's 10 years older than I was. He'd, I actually, if I reflect back, we didn't really choose each other, to be honest. We'd worked together prior. So I'd
Yeah.
worked with him for 4 or 5 years. So we knew each other really well. We got on super well. He'd owned businesses previously, hairdressing businesses.
Mhm.
So I thought safe bet,
Yeah.
safe partner kind of thing. That was all
Interesting
right.
though. He'd owned businesses, but he'd ended up working for commission for someone else. So that's interesting. You didn't think, what happened to
Yes.
you? Why aren't you still in your own business? Like my
Oh,
suspicious
no, I
would
didn't,
have. Yeah.
because his history was he was from Christchurch, a different city
Yeah.
in New Zealand, and so the family still owned the salon that he was part
Ah,
owner
okay.
of, and
Yep.
he
Yep.
moved to Wellington.
Yeah.
I think for a
That
partner
makes
or something.
logical
So,
sense. Yeah.
yes, yeah. There was no red flags for me at all
Yeah.
there. And
Oh,
you know,
so
for the most part, we owned that salon together for 10 years. We had a huge team at one point, like 30
wow.
people. Yeah, it was huge. And for the most part, we had a great journey. We were
Yeah.
very different. And I think in
Yeah.
the end,
That's
that's
probably good.
where we separated.
Yeah.
Yeah. I sort of got to a point where I wanted more, and I think he was more at a point where I'm happy with this, you know. So,
And maybe the
um,
age had something to do with that. You're
yeah, absolutely.
you're revving up and he's slowing down, just normal.
Yes,
Yeah.
yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So
Yeah.
it made sense to so I sold out to him in the end.
Yep.
Um, yeah,
Brilliant.
and went freelance training for a while around New Zealand, which was great.
Oh
And then
wow.
I saw an opportunity to open another salon. So I opened a young sort of Gen Y salon, was it then? Yeah. Millennials basically. And heavy training, heavy education. I think when I was out freelance educating and business mentoring in between the salons, I just saw such a gap for training. All these young hairdressers leaving because they're stuck at the basin, sweeping the floor, no real education, you know, no hands-on training.
No.
So I opened my salon to do that. And
Yeah.
the first 2 days of the week were dedicated just to training.
Yeah.
So yeah, it went really well. It was good. We were probably the first in New Zealand to be doing that. So
Yeah. It's interesting, isn't it? I do feel very frustrated at times that the amount of hours that salon owners put into training their apprentices is just like it's poof, it's that small,
mm,
you know? And
oh, I agree.
yeah,
Yeah.
my new program is the 25-hour salon owner. And so it's to get the salon owner to 25 hours on the floor so that you can free her up enough. And then we do 5 hours a week. And a girl said the other day,
Yeah.
every week? I said, yes. She goes, I have to
Yeah.
train people every week for 5 hours. I said, yes, you do.
Yeah.
So
And
she
I
added
would
up, she
consider
added
that
up her
nothing really, right?
one-on-ones. Yeah, she added up her one-on-ones. I think there was 6 on team. So she goes, well, that's a half an hour each. And I thought, oh, I'll let you have it this week. But soon that won't be, no, that's not training. That's talking.
Yeah, no.
No.
That's
And then
checking
it's
in.
every week,
Yes.
every week, every week. So like I feel like there's a real they're frustrated because they don't come out of the colleges done and they don't come out of apprentices done. But I think, but you have to do it. Like I was taught that 13% of their education comes from the school. 13%,
Yeah.
right? So 87, yeah, 87% is your responsibility, the salon owner. So that's a
Mm.
lot, right? But
It's loads.
yeah, it's all. And I think the only thing that needs to happen at school is they get ticked off or marked off for something. That's it.
Yeah. And it's definitely moving more and more in that direction, especially here in New Zealand. I'm not sure what it
Yeah.
looks like in
Well,
Australia
our
now, but
industry is not regulated. So it fascinates me that a
mm,
lot of them say, oh, I can't work that day because I can't have that day off because I've only got juniors on that day. I haven't got a senior. And I feel like saying, why don't you just forget about that? Because no one's regulating or helping you. So why do you stick to that rule? Like you're going to go to
yeah,
prison,
that's right.
right?
No, that's right. If they're capable and you trust them, doesn't
Mind
matter
your
what
own
level they are.
business. Like my twin boys, I wouldn't leave them at home till they were 25, but I could leave my daughter at home alone when she was 15. Yeah, the boys would,
Yes.
they'd want to make cook toffee on the stove or some shit that they shouldn't be doing, burn the house down. Like seriously.
Yes.
So you've got to
Yeah.
know who you can leave on their own. But, and I probably shouldn't be saying this on a podcast, but I feel like saying, hang on a minute, I actually know what I'm doing and I'm responsible
Mm,
for the people that I produce. So this is how it's going to be. But the training
mm,
hours, that just lights me up. And that's why you got to where you are, love, because you saw the gap and you filled it.
mm,
Most people saw the
mm.
gap and then they pointed out, there's a gap.
Yes. Yeah,
There's a
yes,
gap.
yeah, that's
There's a
right.
problem with our industry. I think, yeah. And
Mhm.
why are you
Yeah,
telling
let's
why are
fill
you
it.
telling me
Sort it.
this? Yeah, why are you telling
Mhm.
me this? Get on it. It's a wonderful
Yeah.
opportunity. And if you can educate people, especially kids, you know, like they say, oh, kids today. I think, yeah, all kids today? No.
No, not at all. No, not at all. You get, you know, I still see, I actually just recently did a bit of a product launch here in New Zealand, and the salon we're working out of, 2 of their apprentices were there, and they were amazing. I was just like, yeah, you know, there is still very passionate, and they were in a great place, which was excellent to see too. But yeah, no, I think there's still a lot of young ones that will put their heart and soul in if you see their potential.
Yeah, and people
Absolutely.
say, I'm not bitter. I'm just saying how it is. I think, no, you're bitter.
Yeah.
I've got to
Yeah.
choose. I've
That's
got to
when you know
choose
that
my day when I say no,
yes,
you're bitter. I just say, well, just park that for now. In other words, I don't want to tell you because you're struggling.
it's not going to land. It
And it's
won't,
not going to land and it
yeah.
wouldn't be helpful. And I actually care about you. So I'm not going to tell you that. But it's like people saying, never get married again. No way. Never get married. All men are assholes. I think, really? Your brother's a man. Is he an asshole? Your dad's a man. Is he an asshole? And sometimes they might say yes. But the point is,
But
we're,
yeah, that's
we're
right.
people. We're people. I
Yeah.
say, take the penises off people and the tits off people, and we're just people. So stop putting people in all men or all women. No. And
Boxes. Yeah,
all young
exactly.
people. How many do you
Mm,
need? Just find one good kid. So to me, it's a
exactly.
skill. It's a skill
Exactly.
of being
Yeah.
able to see something is available. And even like you said before, most things happen to you accidentally. So
Yeah.
maybe find an
Yeah.
apprentice accidentally. Like a good kid,
Yeah.
I'd take on, I don't care if you've been a hairdresser 30 years or you're not one yet. It's attitude. They're just,
Oh, 100%. That's always how I recruited when I was in my salon, for attitude. Everything else, trainable,
yeah.
educatable. Yeah.
Easy. But you
Yeah.
can only move, like if someone's got a 1 out of 10 skill, I can fix that. I can get you to 10 out of
Yeah.
10. But I
Yeah.
can't move your attitude. I can maybe move at 2 points. So if someone's a 6 out of 10 for their attitude, at best, when you ride them, they're an 8, at best.
Mm,
So if someone you
mm.
give your team member, go through and just sit around, think about each team member, give them a skill out of 10, give them an attitude out of 10. And the ones that are like a 4 out of 10 for their attitude, or sometimes they are and sometimes they're not, well, that's as good as it gets, Pollyanna.
That's right. That's right. And you're also that's the strongest your team is too, that person that's a 4, that's
That's
the
the
baseline of
weakest
your
link.
team.
Yeah, that's the
Mm,
weakest link.
yeah.
Someone said the other day
Yeah.
to me, and I thought it was absolute gold, you're only as spiritual as you are around your family. I thought, oh, that just knocked me
Yeah.
spirituality in the ass.
That-
Or the other,
Yeah, that
or
resonates.
you are in your hometown. So you could say
Yes.
your business is only as good as your weakest, and that's what you're saying. The person
Yes.
with the
Yeah.
lowest attitude, that's where I'd be working.
Yeah, absolutely. Or yeah, working to either shape them up or ship them out, whatever that
Yeah.
looks like.
Yeah,
Yeah,
one or the
because you
other.
can't
Both
afford to have
both are
that.
gonna
Yeah.
both will
Yeah.
because what's the
Strengthen
result
your
if you
business either
don't?
way.
Like, speak to me about how did you learn that? Because a lot of people don't learn that, Janine. How did you learn that
Oh.
that's the problem? This
Uh,
attitude.
well, I guess you learn it through from a business perspective. I learned it through team disharmony, and I lost great team members because I had average ones,
Yeah,
and also client satisfaction. So
yeah,
the client complaints, or again losing clients because that service, even at that basin level, or just the greeting at the front desk, can make or break everything.
yeah,
And so those younger people coming into our businesses, they are usually the first person that somebody deals with on the phone or at the door, or those little parts of the service that really matter.
yeah.
So that's how I learned that, mostly through losing great team members because I had average ones. And that could be at any level, not just apprentice. I didn't always get my recruitment right. And the hard thing is too, when you recruit, in the background, once you know that you need to do something about it and you start doing some performance management or whatever, you can't really let your team know that you're doing that. So they don't even have any idea that you're kind of on it, because you can't let them know that sort of inside information against a person. So it can be really tricky.
Mm.
So I started to really work on with recruitment. They needed to be a 9 or 10 out of 10. A 7 or 8 didn't cut it. Don't employ them. I had a really heavy recruitment process in the end. A lot of stylists wouldn't wait for me, and that was okay. They would end up taking a job they got offered in another interview that afternoon, whereas mine was over days. So they
And
had to really want to work
it
in my
is a
place.
really good benchmark to hire slowly and remove quickly.
Yes,
Yeah, and you
yes,
can't tell. You
absolutely.
can't. It's like going on a date. You can't tell what the bloke's going to be like until you have a
No,
few
that's right.
dates. And we're all on our best behaviour. Let's be honest. We've got the new lingerie on. Hello. Then when you've been married a long time, you got the old monkey fucking comfortable ones on.
The
And
comfortable
you wonder why your
ones.
sex life's dried up. Maybe
It's like,
digress, but it's true though, isn't it? You can't tell. And so I
yeah,
feel like a lot of
comfort.
people are they're like embarrassed that they had to let someone go. Like they're worried that the team and the clients are going to go, oh, what happened to that one? Oh, well, she's not good enough for
Yeah.
you. And the best is all I want for you as a client. So my job is to protect you from anyone that comes in here. The other thing that I think you pointed out, which is absolute gold, is that first point of contact. Like it's, play basketball and you're bouncing the ball around, you shoot the goal, you miss, you shoot the goal, you miss, and you think, I'm going to be shit today, right? And that's an analogy for when they come in, no one looks up when they open the door, no one smiles, someone says, come over here. Then you just missed the three, you've just missed the 3 first balls that didn't land in, and then the client goes, this is not good.
Yeah, that's right. Too late. Lost them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love it when they say, how good is that? Her energy is just infectious,
Yes. Yeah, me too. Energy is it's the number one thing, right? It's like energy and passion that and we have to have it in spades because we're on all day long, so you
people
really
are stressed.
have to bring that.
People are financially stressed. There's a war going on and whatever. I'll tell you this story quickly about, I went into this salon it's a beautiful salon in Melbourne, and I just went in for a blowover and I had long hair. And a chap came and I noticed this chap there, and he had like a front tooth missing. Like seriously, to me, and this is my old 1984's judgmental thing, put your lipstick on, look the goods, you're a hairdresser. And he was very grungy in that, and he had a front tooth missing. And I just thought, wow, like that fascinated me, because he didn't look like, I think if you remove some teeth, it can look like your IQ's low or you're homeless. I don't know.
Oh, yeah, totally. Yeah, well, we're
And it
judging
is,
like
it's
that,
a
aren't we?
terrible judgment on my
Yeah.
behalf. But you got to remember, I was raised in a beauty industry that was very superficial. And I think today the world has changed. And people say, show up as you.
100% has.
Like the fact that I'm even showing you my grey hair. And yes, I do have makeup on today because I plan to do this recording, but I can get on a Zoom with none. Whereas in the beginning, I
Yes.
couldn't. But this kid, I could not believe, he was just a delightful kid. Once I got past the jar of
Past
the
that.
front teeth,
Yes.
and I just thought, good on you. And that's why this salon is so successful. It's a very grungy part of Melbourne, which is like, it's a Brunswick. It's very
Oh, yeah, I know. Brunswick.
yeah. And you just think, wow. And it just showed me how old my thinking can be. And I'm not your average 62-year-old girl, but I still have behaviors that are like, well, you need to look the goods, right? So a lot of people employed these pretty blonde girls who look good in the salon, but that just didn't have anything. This kid had it in spades. He was keen. He was a great, and he had a couple of front teeth missing. I don't find out why. And maybe he was getting them fixed. I don't know. But, if he got into the swimming pool, he'd sink. He had that many piercings in him. Like,
that's the other thing. Well, this is a funny story too. And I tell this to people because when I had my first salon, I didn't employ people that had tattoos. I banned visible tattoos.
this is like the confession section.
I know, but people, anyone I talk to in a salon now, they'll be like, well, you have no staff.
Who are you going to employ? Even I've got one. I only got it recently, but I didn't have tattoos.
But isn't it funny?
Like 59.
And that was that was kind of my similar to you with the teeth. Like I sort of had this upbringing where tattoos were for wharfies and hard people and, crims. And so I was like, yeah. So I was like, right, no tattoos.
Well, I'm glad we've got over that. But it's like my son says, it's linear, Mum. That was your father bringing it into you and you bringing it into me. So he said, don't feel bad that I have, mental health issues and whatever. He goes, because you brought them down. I thought, mate, that is so true. He said, this is what he said. He said, we just got to stop breeding. I said, well, that's all right for you. I didn't get that memo. He goes, that's all right. He just laughed. But just talk about it.
No, I think that's where the world has changed so much for the better. Like I look at my children's generation and they are accepting of all shapes, sizes, ages, diversity, sexualities. It's so great. Like very good. Yeah. The work is being done and there's still a long way to go. But,
there is, and that's not everybody. And I think our industry adapts quickly because we do deal with all the people, but the pronouns and things. Like I just say, she's a girl, but that's the factory settings. Like, now she's not a girl.
Yeah.
So
that's right.
Yeah, I couldn't give a shit. Do what you want, love. But that's my
Yeah.
hairdressing, like broad, wide tolerance of people. And I just think
Yes, that's right. And I think we move in
firsthand.
bubbles of that too, right?
Yeah.
And then when you step outside of that and it's not like that, you feel, jump scare a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Years ago, if a
Um,
man was a hairdresser, oh, he must be gay. No, he's not. Like that
yes.
was, you know,
Yeah.
stereotypical stuff, like whatever. And I
Yeah.
just
Totally.
make him gay.
So
He's got a
funny.
large feminine side. I've got a large masculine side. I've got to keep in check because I'm a bit blunt. I'll work on that, you know.
Yeah.
Anyway, so you're training people, and that's why you're
Mm.
successful, because you saw.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, or a gap. Yeah. Yes, and built an amazing salon on the foundations of that, you know. Our main salon was, I actually ended up with two salons at one point under the same brand.
Yep.
And one was a larger training salon and the other one was sort of more commercial. And then COVID hit. So I had to make a sensible decision around leases and things. And I just merged the two.
Yeah.
But yeah, we had a sort of culture of grow our own and grow as many for other people as we possibly could.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
lovely.
because there's always, you know, people, the biggest thing I hear in the industry is I can't find. It's like, well, they are out there. You need
Or
to
make
A,
your
be
own
attractive
and
to
do the
them,
numbers.
and
I
B,
had
grow your
9 years
own.
and 9
Yeah.
apprentices. That's it.
Yeah, there you go.
Like a sausage factory.
Yeah.
Yeah. I really like
Yeah.
when you said make your own and make them for others. Like if everyone did
Mm.
that, imagine if everybody did that.
Yes, that's right. There would be no challenges, right?
Yeah.
But
Be the
there is
change
still,
that
you
you
know,
want. Be the change.
yes, that's right. Because there's still a lot. I mean, I hear so often, oh, but you train them and they go. It's like,
Yeah.
well, yeah, but they'll
Well,
probably come back
I
or,
know.
you
Well,
know,
what about
like,
this? You don't train them and they
and they
stay.
stay. That's what I used to always think too.
You'd say that
Yeah,
about
let's
husbands
train
too,
those
just saying.
people. Oh, yeah,
All right.
mine's
So
still
now
working progress.
you've had salon ownership and success and that, but there comes a
Yeah.
time when you think, yeah, I reckon I'm done. I reckon I'm done with owning a salon. Like, did that come for you?
Yeah.
How did you know that was time?
Pretty much. Well, I had started to build Calabar Manager on the side. I was actually leading a very busy life for a while there. I had the salon, and I was also working in a global role as a color educator for Kevin Murphy, the brand.
Yep.
So I looked after the APAC region. I was away a lot.
Yep.
So I sort of had those two things going on, and then I built Calabar Manager on top. And
Oh, of
so I
course
sort
you
of
did.
got to a point where,
Of course you
yeah,
did.
that's right.
So tell me
Yeah.
why, and working with the Kevin Murphy brand, like we spoke about that the other day, like just an incredible story of success, just so good. Yeah, I love
Oh,
that. And if you
it
want to
was
listen,
excellent.
I've done a podcast, so just look on Kevin Murphy. So I interview Kevin Murphy, and that tells you the story.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so I'll have
Yeah.
to
Yeah, good.
send that to you, and I didn't. So right, post-it note, nothing happened.
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, I'd love to listen to it. You know, I just had such a great journey with the whole Kevin Murphy team and the brand, and they certainly have created some amazing opportunities for hairdressers globally.
Yeah.
Yeah, I hold Kevin in high regard and the team that I've worked with. You know, like was a
Peter
brilliant
McDonald.
job. Was really good.
He's
Yeah.
my
Yes.
favourite
Yeah. Yeah.
man.
Yeah.
Absolute.
Like just talk about energy. That man's got
I
energy
know.
to burn.
I remember being in a meeting with him once and he couldn't sit still. And I remember thinking, how did you founder this company? Because he just said, yeah, whatever Lee said, yep, that's fine. Like he just summed it up in a word and off he went. Like he just couldn't sit still. Fascinating.
Yeah, absolutely. And he was definitely that person. But you know, that energy percolates right through the brand too.
Absolutely.
Everyone's
Yeah.
so passionate about being the best and
Yeah.
delivering the best. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it was a really great journey.
Yeah. I think
So
salon
when I
owners
stepped
forget
back
that.
from that,
Yeah.
yes, yeah, that's right. So it was a big decision to step back from that. I thought, oh,
Well, you were
you
over
know,
the travelling. Is that why? Or
yes, I did
kids are
get to a
getting
point
bigger?
where it was, yes, that's right. It was starting to just be, the effort of traveling and running the salon, and yes, the kids still needed me, and I also had started to work on Calabar Manager, which I really, you know, if you chase too many rabbits, you never get one. So it was kind of time to make a decision around, you know, which rabbit.
Yeah. So tell me about
Yeah.
Colour Bar Manager. So why did you feel the need for that? That touches your economic desire.
Yes,
I
it
guess,
does.
doesn't it?
Yes, it
Yeah.
does, and also pulls in so it pulls in all of my color knowledge and things as well.
Yeah.
But I guess the thing for me is I see in so many salons working globally, I saw color, the problem with color in pretty much every salon, same problems for every salon. And I actually originally built it to solve my own problems because,
Okay.
I know the realities of what it takes to the responsibility of team, client, stock, wages, profit, all of the things, and how I was managing my color. I thought there has to be a better way than this. We're living in this technological age, and we still have nothing that helps us at the color bar. So it kind of stemmed from needing to solve my own problem, and then I just became obsessed with helping other salon owners run color as a business, not just a service in the salon, because they don't. We just don't look at color as a business component in the business. We look at it as like a product or a
It's
salon
like
server
something you
product or a
need
service.
in order to deliver your goods. So talk to me about
Yeah.
how it works and like what is it? Like I don't know what color bar, and I don't because Tammy
Yeah.
talked to me about it, but I
Yeah.
don't know what it is. So tell me what it is and what
So
problem
Calabar
it
is
solves.
it's basically a profit system for salons. So the whole goal is to help salons make more profit in that area of their business because color is arguably the area where they'll lose or make the most money because we can just hemorrhage money through waste, through undercharging, through not well-priced services, all of the things. So Calabar Manager solves most of those problems. Yeah, so I kept seeing salons that were always busy but not profitable, color shelves full, but they run out of their key shades. They have no idea what their team are mixing, whether they're putting it down the sink or on the hair or walking out the door charged for or not charged for. So Calabar Manager captures all of that. And it just gives them the ability to make decisions from data, not from gut feelings or emotional ransom from a team member or, the things that gets it, I always feel like we're running out of 7.7 or whatever it is. Whereas when you've got the numbers, you can say, well, actually, that's not true. It's been on the shelf for 6 months and whatever it looks like.
And so a
So it
lot of
takes care of all of
people,
those
my
problems.
experience is they crack it, the owner cracks it, and then she puts
Mm.
in a waste jar. Here, put it in here. I'm going to
Yes.
measure it. And I
Yeah.
think, well, that's
Yeah.
like, that's kind of,
Yeah.
you've already pooed your pants. Like,
Yes,
why
and
are you
it looks at the
pooing your
bottom of the
pants?
clip.
What are you eating
Yeah.
that's making you poo your pants, love? Like, go back
Yeah.
upstream.
Yeah.
Every problem is created upstream, and then the last, like the measuring in the jar. And I said this the other day to someone. I said, you can mix 40 grams and put 40 grams on my head when I could have done it with 30. So
That's right.
the 10 is here, so it's not in the jar. So you're free. No.
Yeah. No, not really. Well, no. So, because, a lot of this is the other thing that I'm a campaign to help salon owners understand is that you need a color allocation per service. You need a baseline, right? And it doesn't need to be the same for every single head of hair, but you need a baseline across your salon on what a global color would be mixed at for a certain length of hair or for a certain client or just like I kept my pricing so simple in my salon. A global color, they could use up to 50 grams. I didn't care. I priced for it. We charged for it, and if they went over that, they knew they had to charge extra for the extra product mixed. But what it meant was I didn't set it at 30 grams and then they had to hope that they could do it in 30 grams. If they mixed up that bit extra and didn't charge for it, I was still okay. I just took a lot of those problems away through an allocation system.
And not a skimpy allocation. So it's 50.
No.
That's it. Now, if you use 55, then I would like to think that you would tell the client, I'm going to have to use more. So it's going to cost you an extra, this amount, but I don't want to skimp. And it will require me to do the job properly and I'll cover your grace.
Yeah.
Is that the
Yeah,
conversation?
that's exactly right. Yep, that's exactly right. So pre-quoting before every color service, that's another thing that should be alive and well every client every time. And pre-quoting in the way of like, it'll be from this to that, depending on how much color I need to use today. And I'll let you know as we're working through the service kind of thing.
And if I don't
so there's
need
all
it,
those
then I will, and then I don't need it, I'll remove it from the bill. Yep.
Yes. Yeah. 100%.
Yeah.
So no waste bucket in our world. There is to capture for the next time so that we don't just go on autopilot and mix up too much next time.
So
But not a
altering
waste
the
bucket,
dates.
a name and shame.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I need 42 grams of that and 4 grams of that. Put it down. That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, exactly. So it
And
starts to, eliminate those problems in the first place.
yeah. And so how do they measure this? Is it written on a piece of paper or is it putting on the notes or?
No, so Calabar is an app. It's a digital app. So
Oh, right.
and our users can use it three ways. So salon owners can use it just for ordering, where they don't need to onboard their team. And if they use it in an order only format, then they do a quick audit as they would anyway if they're doing an order, but they do it digitally. And what Calabar will do is capture their usage. So they start to see their top used products. They start to order more of what they need and less of what they don't. And then it automates the order for them. So they push this button that says build my order, smart order, and it will literally just order what they need, not,
Because what was used. So
counting.
what's replaced.
Yes, what was used. Yeah.
So if you
yeah.
used
So
40 grams of this but you didn't use a whole tube, because in the old system, you only ordered it when the tube was empty. Whereas when they'll say, well, you got to that, but it's not a whole tube. So would you still order a tube then? Say a tube's 50 grams and you've used 40, would it order a tube then? Or would it wait till it got to
not necessarily, no. So what once they've been using it for 4 to 6 weeks, we have a really good snapshot of data.
Yep.
So it will actually start to predict what they need to keep their baseline at based on what they use. So they don't, but to get started, we do recommend a minimum quantity. So that's what we do a little bit of work with them on, but we can work that out pretty easily from their invoices. So we do that for them and give them a baseline and sort out what their top 20% of color usage is. Because my other mantra is that we use 20% of our color range 80% of the time. So we actually don't use, like, we have 200 tubes of color, but we don't use maybe use like
I've got a salon I used to work with. I don't anymore because he's wonderful and graduated. But I think he orders 20 tubes and the other 140, he doesn't have it. He just taught his team to mix. He said, that's how I learned. Like level 8 and a level 803 and a level 83. You don't need the 803. You just mix the 8 and the 83, makes you an 803.
Yeah.
And he just
that's
does
right.
it.
So teaching them to mix, but also, I run reports for people now once they've been working with us for a good 6 weeks minimum, and there is always 30 or 40 SKUs that they have not touched in that time. It's like, don't order that. Get 6 of the tubes that you do use and get nothing of the ones that you don't touch. It's dead stock on your shelf. So so it gives you those insights, which is good. So that's if they use it in an order only format. Outside of that, they onboard their team and they capture the grams as they mix. So they can either do that manually or they can use a Bluetooth scale, which will actually weigh it accurately and removes the stock from the shelf as they're mixing, keeps their client records, and then they push a button to order. It's pretty simple.
And
when
so
they do it
that
way.
would be so amazing in America, they have a lot of people on commissions only. They're not, so the problem is capturing how much product they use so that you can charge it to the girls, right? So this
that's right.
That in itself is just fair.
Yeah.
Rather than saying, oh, well, it's so much a week. And you think, well, I didn't do any color this week, or this week I did more color. But it's also,
they send them down to the gram, Yes, it's much fairer. Yeah. It's fairer for the clients. It's fairer for those commission stylists. But that's the other thing that we dive into with it as well, is because a lot of salons are commission based and most salons price to cover the cost of color, but they don't put a margin on it. Yet they're paying commission on it. So, they end up like losing, in fact. So we kind of help them with that as well. Like, let's add a markup to your color. So every gram you're making 100% markup on, and therefore, you're not losing money when you pay commission on it. All of the things.
Yeah, because if you pay commission on $600, right, and you only take off the cost of the tint, no, that comes out of the commission. So you can't.
That's right.
And especially if a person charges extra grams, $10 extra, you pay commission on that.
Yeah, that's right. But you're only covering the cost of the color. So what they need to be doing is doubling that, and then they can pay commission on it. Yeah, and we're all good to go. So there's lots of leaks in the color bar, lots and lots of leaks. So I'm super passionate about helping salon owners.
I'm very pleased that you're doing that job and not me. That's all I can do.
Not your wheelhouse.
No, but I just appreciate it. I just feel like there's so many things. It's like, people think the social media is their main thing, and other people think the product wastage is their main thing, or other people think I can't find team is their main thing. They're all main things. They're all main things.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
But if you don't have the courage to have that conversation, and so that poses another problem, whereas you, the salon owner, decide to engage with you, and maybe you start just with the baseline, and then you turn around and the team take no notice of you. They stop, they don't do it. Like, there's a problem.
Yes,
Do,
that's
do,
probably one of the biggest barriers is the
is it?
onboarding of team members. Oh, yeah. Yes, which I was going to say, don't get me started. So we started.
Well, that's where
It's just that
that is
whole,
my
like,
that's my wheelhouse. So send them to me.
yes,
I'll send you
yes,
that
yeah,
need
yeah,
accuracy that I can't give them
yes.
because I've got too much work to do in the I'm worthy and I should be able to say what I like, and I'm not an arsehole because I don't want to waste colour. But
No, that's
you
right.
can't, like even just 2 days ago, a girl was saying that she became the team manager, no support, they just give them the badge. And someone
Yeah.
said to her, oh, the more you ask for me to do it, the less I want to do it. And she doesn't know how to respond to that. And I said, well, because you're not trained to do it. So I gave her some skills. I said, just pause and did you mean to be mean to me then? It sounded really like you were trying to hurt me. And so she can say
Yeah.
that. And the sad thing is, the person wouldn't say that to me because they know I just slice them in two with a bread knife, right? But the gentle person gets that because
Yes.
the snitchy person who's having a bad day or whatever be's mean to the gentle person. They don't be mean to me because I say, would you
And
like to
then,
say that
yeah.
again? And would you like to say it slowly so I can write it down? Like,
Yeah, that's right.
don't you worry,
No,
it
they
doesn't
would.
dragon in me. So they don't do it because there's a feeling that comes out of you that says, don't fuck with her. It's the same
Yeah.
as you see a cat arch its back and looks at a big dog and the dog goes, whoa, better back off.
Yeah, that's right. Runs away. Yeah, it's the same. And I think that's the frustration that I see when people are trying to onboard their teams for any system or service that they want to implement and they get resistance. It's like, this is your show. If they don't want to be on this bus, then, they can get off the bus, but it's your salon. So yeah, I
And
get
that
very
loops
frustrated
in
with
the
people like that.
hiring correctly. That loops in the tolerating
all the time.
people so that you lose
Yeah.
good people. All of that is
Mm.
looped in together. But, speaking really honestly, it's like this big knotted up ball of string when they arrive.
Mm.
We're just going to pull a few strings out. That's all.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. And
I
they
think
just have to,
they know it
salon
in
owners just need to
theory.
prioritize. Yeah, they do. And they just need to prioritize because sometimes I also see salon owners trying to do too many things at once because they
Really?
know they have all these problems. Yeah, well,
Really?
they know
Yes.
they have all these problems.
Yeah.
And so they start trying to fix one or two little things, but then they don't go all in. And so
No.
then they dabble, they don't get the result, they move on to the next thing. And, and so the wheels keep spinning.
Yeah. And that's normal
Yeah.
for our industry because we're creatives. You're a little bit unusual in your economic side. Most of us are, a bit, especially in hair, we're very creative. And so we're bright and shiny. Oh, over there and over there.
Yeah,
And,
I'm definitely tired of that brush, don't you worry.
yes. So,
Just
and
might look a
that's
little
right.
bit
And so
different,
it's
but
really
yes, that's what
important.
we're dealing with,
Yeah. You've got to be
Mm.
really kind and just say, that's okay. And look how far you came. But it's time to
Yes.
ask. It's time to put your pride aside and just say, yeah, I need someone to help me with this. You're not broken. There's nothing wrong with you. You're just normal. You're a garden variety, creative person doing the best you can. That's it. And I find just keep praising them and say, yeah, it's fine. Just do the next right thing. And don't
Yes,
all those things over there. You'll get to them eventually. Like I remember when you first picked up your scissors, you kept changing hands. You didn't even know which hand the comb was in. Felt like
exactly.
that
Yeah,
hand, and then it felt
exactly.
like that hand, and you think, oh, maybe it's this hand. And how many times do we do that? Now you just pick them up and off you go. Like
Yeah, that's
we
right.
all conquer the things that we want to do. But first we're unaware, and then we become aware, and that's uncomfortable. So now they're aware that they're losing money on their color, and then that's uncomfortable. But you know what? You know what you're doing. So just
Yeah, that's right.
hand it
And
up.
then you've got to step into that, like, I'm aware now and I'm going to fix it. It's going to be hard for the first little bit and then it's going to be great. Everything good is on the opposite side, right? So,
True. It's
yeah.
really about the consciously incompetent. So when
Yes.
you start driving a car, you're quite conscious that you're incompetent to drive. So you get in and you think seatbelt and you, all right, seatbelt. Okay. Foot on the brake. Right. Okay. Mirror. Like it's really conscious
Yes,
to do
that's
those
right.
things. And eventually you think, have I I don't know if I missed the turn off, not even.
Yeah, am I home?
Oh, that was quick. So everything in life is like that. Everything is like
Absolutely.
So
Yeah,
just
everything.
have
And, I get, salon owners, sorry to interrupt you, salon owners often say to me, is it always this hard, Janine? Is it always, I'm like, yeah, it's constantly up, down, that's business ownership to me. I think there's
life.
always,
Yeah.
and life. Yeah, there's great bits, and you've got to enjoy those glory moments while they're there, because the next day or week it could be different
Who
story.
knows? Enjoy the good while it's good. The thing that I
Exactly.
say, and we probably should end on this, and I'll get you to think about what's one thing that you wished people would do. And I say you climb a mountain and you think, mate, I've just got to the top of the mountain. And then you look up and you think, fuck, it's a mountain range.
Yeah.
It's not, there isn't one mountain, love.
Yeah, no, that's right.
There isn't one mountain. So get down the other
No,
side.
that's right.
Enjoy
Go down
the
and go
slide
back
down
up
and then
again.
get up the next one. That's life. It's called living.
Yes. Yeah, absolutely. And it's constant, isn't it? It's constant in life, and it's certainly constant in business.
Just lean
Yeah.
into and accept it. That choose
Yeah.
your hard. Being in a
Yeah,
shitty
I
place
think.
is hard, and doing the work is hard.
Yes.
But choose your hard.
Yes.
So what
Yeah, both
what
are.
would you like to leave them with? What's something that you think, yeah, if I would like to talk to every salon owner in the world and they're all listening to me, what would be the one thing you wish that they would do?
Oh, the one thing that I wish that they would do is understand that they need to have visibility on their numbers. So that's right across the salon. Of course, for me in my wheelhouse, it's visibility on color numbers. So whether that's what they're charging, what they're wasting, what they're using, all of it, because that visibility, it gives them the ability to make the decisions that they need to make to take their salon or their business to the next level. And all of it, everything falls out of the numbers, team harmony, profit, all of it, so
Facts.
yeah.
And so what is
that.
Investment? Is it per week or per month, or so that they understand? Because people go, oh, that sounds very expensive. I don't think I could do that. So that's the first thing that they would be thinking. How much does it cost?
Yes, 100%. So our investment is actually pretty light in the software world, because I'm on a campaign. I often see software developed for, in most industries, but especially ours. And then the salons that really need it can't afford it. So I'm on a campaign where it's affordable for every salon at every level. So our investment is $47 a month, which for New Zealand, Australians listening, my campaign was to make it less than the price of a tube of colour a week. So I think we've hit that. Yeah. And their ROI is 10, 20, 30, 40 times that. So it's pretty much a no-brainer. Yeah, it's a no-brainer. The only effort they have to put in is,
do the work.
Setting up a new system. Yeah, that's right. Which usually takes between 4 and 6 weeks, which is a very short space of time.
Not long, is it?
And then not at all. And then they're away. So yeah.
Life is not fair. Do what's hard and have an incredible life. Life's not fair.
Yeah.
Things are hard. So choose your hard and get on with it.
Yeah.
It's been lovely talking to you. Just really
Yes, you too.
so clever. I'm just pleased that we found someone so economically wise. How good are you?
Well, working on the wires still, but we're getting wiser.
That's
certainly wise in that space for sure. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Just say yes, thank you. Don't have to deflect.
Yes, thank you. Yeah. No, not meaning to deflect, but absolutely colour is, the economics of colour is totally my jam. The economics of maybe running a house, I could give that up if I had to.
Do what you love. Do what you love.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly.
Thank you very much. Yeah, thank you so much.
Yeah, pleasure. Thanks for having me. Great to chat, and we'll talk again.
We will talk again. Thanks, Janine.